This week's YouTube Q&A video is for you guys who are just getting started on YouTube. What equipment do you need? What are the essential things you need to actually get started? What can you upgrade to later? What should your content be about? And way more things. That is coming up right after this. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and it's Thursday, which means it's time to take a question that one of you guys asked of me about YouTube, and I will do my best to help you guys out and answer it. This week's question comes from Beautiful Chaos, and he or she asked this. You have a video that explains how to start, what equipment is essential, what can be added later, etc. I've always had a passion to do videos, but I'm afraid I won't have anything valuable to post, and of course, I am afraid of rejection. There's actually a lot of things jam-packed into that question, and I wish we could actually sit down and have like a face-to-face conversation about it. First, let's start off with equipment. What do you need? Actually, you really don't need a whole lot of anything. I actually got started just by using the little webcam on my computer back in 2006, and I actually had like an 8mm camera, but like that was like a pain to use, so I just used a webcam on my computer, and you could just get started with that depending on what type of content you're doing. If you're just talking to a camera like me, that is more than totally sufficient. Or you can just, if you like iPhone or an iPod Touch, or like an Android device, like most of the time the camera on these little guys are like phenomenal. They're great. They're perfect for just getting started. And I always advise people, don't just go out and buy like a lot of new fancy equipment because you want to get started in video, or you think you're going to need this, or you might need that, or actually really what happens, you don't know what you need because you haven't even started yet. You don't know what kind of content you're ultimately going to land on. You don't know what the feel or your style is going to be like. Like there's just a lot of variables to consider. So just get started with like the most cheapest stuff you can get your hands on. And since you won't have a large audience, it's not like there's a ton of people you need to impress. In fact, you have like tremendous freedom to just like experiment and try new things and experiment with this type of content, and that like you don't have a huge audience you have to worry about disappointing, or that they're going to unsubscribe because you did something different when they subscribed for this thing and now you're trying that thing. You know, like learn everything you can, get out all the mistakes you can, and just see where this whole YouTube thing kind of takes you, because you might have one direction in mind and then ultimately land on something else. So just start with the cheapest equipment you can, even if that includes just using your phone or something like that. If you do want to make an upgrade a little bit above your phone or your webcam though, there's a link in the description text below this video to a video that we did here at Video Creators. There's a bunch of us here just kind of talking about what our favorite cameras are that are just really super budget, like $150 or cheaper, and we just kind of evaluate a bunch of those. So if you're looking for a camera, go check out that video, or click right here to go check out that video, and then I'll give you some of our thoughts and advice on that. The second part of your question is that you're afraid you won't have anything valuable to post and that you are afraid of rejection. And I will tell you this, YouTube is not the place to be if you are afraid of rejection, because anyone who can tell you here who's watching this video, they're all going to comment below, and they can attest to this and tell you that like YouTube comments are some of the harshest people out there, and you are going to feel like a big pile of poopy if you don't get a thick skin for some of the stuff people are going to say. They won't even have watched your videos, and they will just leave negative comments just because they have that kind of free time on their hands, and they really have that kind of low self-esteem about themselves, and they feel like dragging you down is somehow going to make them feel better, I guess. I do think though, before you get started, you should at least have some idea of what kind of value you want to bring to the world through your videos. I actually talked with a lot of YouTube creators, Hank Green, Devin Supertramp, Black Nerd Comedy, and a whole bunch of other people that maybe you recognize in this video, and I asked them that very question. How does a YouTube creator go about discovering what value they have that they can bring and offer to the world, and how do they do that consistently in every single video? So they have some good advice and tips, and that video kind of goes into more, and that's also linked below for you mobile viewers who can't click right there. But I do think that's something you should figure out before you come to YouTube. There's plenty of people just kind of filling up this place with noise, and there's not anything necessarily wrong with that. But if you want to grow and develop an audience, I believe that you really have to figure out what value you are bringing to your audience, and then pitch that value to them, propose that value. Like here at Video Creators, the value I'm pitching is that I'm going to help you guys master the platform. That's the what. And then the why. Why does that matter? Well, the value is because we're going to spread a message. I'm going to help you guys spread a message that can hopefully, and then the third part, if I was going to add another aspect to it, is to change lives. And so that's the value that I'm pitching to you, and I try to deliver that in every single video the best way that I know how. And you guys too should definitely know what kind of value you are proposing to your video, and make that part of your branding, make it part of your channel trailer, make that part of every video you do. It all points back to that. This is the value that I'm proposing to give to you. So if you don't really know what that is, your videos will be like really random and going in lots of different directions, and it'd be kind of hard to build an audience like like that, because ultimately at the end of the day, people care about themselves and they will watch your videos if you are offering value to them, not just because they, in the goodness of their heart, want to offer more value to you somehow. So I really think you do need to have that figured out, or maybe not totally figured out, at least an idea what that is, and then start trying just to kind of work towards that thing and see what it kind of becomes as you go that direction, or maybe it shifts direction, or just at least have an idea in your head. So I would love to hear from you guys, from the rest of you in the comments below, about what you guys think. How would you advise this person? And if you are in the situation of the person who asked this comment, Beautiful Chaos, also read all those comments down there, because there are always people sharing really good, helpful things down there that I forgot to say or didn't think of and stuff. So a lot of really smart people. Go check out those comments. And if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every Thursday we do YouTube Q&A just like this to help you guys. On Tuesdays, I do some YouTube news and just kind of cover what's happening and changing here in the industry and what it means for us as creators as we develop channels and build audiences. And then also on Wednesdays, I give you guys some YouTube tips, ideas, suggestions, and things like that, just to help you guys, because like I kind of already said, I really do believe that a lot of you guys have messages that really need to spread, and I want to help you guys in every way that I can, help you spread those messages so that they reach the people who need to hear what you have to say and changes their lives. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. That's why I do what I do here on Video Creators. Subscribe, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye.